Hey up everybody, how we doing? Thumbs up. How we all doing on this not bad day? Now this video is a little bit different. One of my subscribers said to me, Stu, you do a lot of travelling, especially on your own. Any ideas for people who are wanting to start travelling on their own? What do you do? So I said, yeah, I'll do a video then and give people an idea, because when you're travelling on your own, it can be very daunting. It really can. It can be quite scary, because when I first started doing it on my own, I was petrified. I really was. I'd never been on a train on my own. I've done buses. Millie agrees. But trains especially used to scare me because I didn't know where to go. But I use different apps, and now I've got a bit more of an idea what to do, so I'll share my knowledge with you. Now with my travelling, I don't go too far. Not yet. I'll just go places where I know, and I'm starting to move further afield because I'm starting to get used to it. And when you start travelling, you've got to know your strengths and your comfort zones. You don't, for the first time, you don't want to be going to the centre of London or places like that out of your comfort zones. Just go nice and local for a start and gradually build up from there. And you've got to do your homework as well. Find out what the places are like, what the travel's like, different amenities. Definitely do your homework. Google is fantastic, YouTube as well, and also on these apps, which I'll talk about in a moment. And when you get going, embrace it. Embrace yourself. You've got to enjoy it and go with the flow, and you'll be absolutely fine. And another thing as well, get an early start. With anything, if you're not too sure, get an early start to it, because then if anything does go astray, or shall I say gets cocked up, then you've got plenty of time to sort it out and to know where you want to be. And lastly, don't be afraid to ask. If you're not sure, ask somebody. There's always someone there to help in the kiosks at these travel places, or ask a member of the public. Don't be scared to ask. Do it. It'll be absolutely fine. Now, whenever I'm thinking about going somewhere, I think to myself, where am I going to stay? What is there? How much do things cost? The whole lot. Just do your homework on that. Now, when I'm looking for somewhere to stay, I use booking.com. Now, there is other apps out there and other places you can use, like Trivago and things like that, but I use booking.com. Now, I'm not affiliated with booking.com, so I'm not going to get a free holiday, but I find that app very easy. So go on booking.com and type in where you want to go, and then obviously then it brings up different criterias, and then you can either go for the cheapest, lowest first, or you distance wise. You've got to try and find that happy medium, because the places I go, you can find some really dirt cheap places, but they are very dirt cheap for a reason. So look at those reviews and read the reviews, and obviously ask around as well, because some places, they're a bit sketchy. So it's the quality and quantity thing again. So yes, you can have a nice cheap place to stay, but you want to enjoy it as well. You don't want it to be an absolute dossole. You want to have somewhere quite nice, but with having somewhere quite nice, you've got to pay a little bit extra. But at the end of the day, if you're going on a holiday or going for a day out or a night out or whatever, you've got to have a lovely experience. If it's no good if you just have a crap experience, that's not the point of going away. So what I'll do at the end of this video, I'll put in links of YouTube videos for tutorial videos for these apps, so you can see how they work. Once I've got that sorted out, I'll then look on the travel. How am I going to get there? Now, where I am, the bus routes are very good. So I use Stagecoach round here. They're the main buses. Now, Stagecoach have got their own app, and that is brilliant. It really is a very good app. The rest of the website for Stagecoach is not very good, not very helpful, but the app is very good. Now, if you're not very app savvy, get someone to help you out on here. So once you've got the app installed, it will give you a tutorial on how to use it, and it's very simple once you've got the swing of it, because you just type in where you are, where you want to be, and it brings up a big map, and it gives you pinpoints of where the bus stops are and bus stations and what buses stop there. Once you get an idea of where you want to be and what bus that is, it's very simple, and you can obviously see the buses coming and going and the times or whether they're going to be late, and obviously once you're on the bus you can keep a track of where you are so you won't miss your stop, which is fantastic, because if you're somewhere different, somewhere new, knowing where to stop can be very difficult. Now if you're struggling with that and you're still not too sure, ask the bus driver. Just say, look, I need to be off at this stop, can you give me a shout, or ask somebody and say, look, where is this stop? There will be somebody to help. Don't be afraid of asking. Now when it comes to trains, because I do go on trains of my own now, I did find it the first time, I found it confusing. That's just because I've been on trains before, but I've been with other people, I've never really paid attention. But when it comes to doing it on my own, I was a little bit confused of knowing what platform to be, where to get off, whatever. So I started using Trainline. Now Trainline, there is other apps out there, but Trainline I found is the best for me. Now it might not work as good for you as it does for me, but have a look at the others. But Trainline definitely works for me, because you can book your ticket on there, which is very simple. You just have to work out obviously where you're going, and then look at the prices on there, and it tells you whether you want a single or return or open return. Play about with the destinations and the times, because sometimes they're different prices, so have a play about with where you want to be. And I would suggest as well, when you're doing a train trip, do a small trip for a start. If it's just down the road or a few miles, whatever, just do a small trip. My first trip was to Nottingham, which is about an hour away from where I live, which was a great introduction into train travelling on your own. Now when you buy your ticket, look at what it says, because you could have a straight run to your destination with no changeovers, or you can have tickets where you've got one changeover, so you have to change train to another train. Sometimes that can work out cheaper, but for your first time, just have it with with no changeovers, just a straight there, because the last thing you want to be doing on your first trip is changing trains. Keep it as simple as possible. Once you've done that, you can go down the route of doing a few changes, and like I say, it can be a cheaper way of doing it. It's very strange, I know, but on that app I've just been on about, it will tell you those sort of things. So once you've worked that out, you've got your ticket sorted out, you go to the train station, it tells you where you need to be, so what platform you need to be at, what time you need to be at. Once you've got on there, it gives you basically like a train map with all the different stops that it goes to. So once you start your destination, it will show you where you are, so you know exactly where you need to be to get off. I would suggest as well, get there in plenty of time, get in a seat, if you can get a seat, and sit near the window. Then once you get to your station, you can see the sign where it is, and you'll be absolutely fine. Don't be scared. Once you've got that sorted out, then you can start looking at the amenities in those areas and where you can get cheap food, where you can go for free. Now, I also use the app's called Olio, which you can get cheap or free food. The same with Too Good To Go. You can use that to get discounted food from certain places, i.e. the supermarkets, Greggs, Curtis's, wherever they're getting rid of some food that's also going out of date. Also as well, Google the areas that are not so good, where you shouldn't be and where you should be, because you want to be safe and you don't want to be wandering around on your own where you shouldn't be. So check out those areas and also ask people as well, because people in those areas know where to go and where not to go. And the trick is keep it as simple as possible. Now, like I said, once you've done this the first time, you'll be absolutely fine. You'll be an absolute pro at it. Now you'll get people say, why are you going on your own? Doesn't matter as long as you're happy. I mean, I love going places on my own. I love going places with friends and family, but I do prefer going on my own because you haven't got to look after anybody. You've got to get yourself to sort out. It's great. And like I say, I don't go far. I wouldn't go to the middle of London because that's out of my comfort zone, and I'm aware of that, so I just don't do it. So just do what is comfortable for you. Now, I'm not a massive traveller. I'm not very adventurous, but I do quite a bit. So if you want to get more adventurous as you go along, there's so many channels out there on YouTube to check out. So you can travel the globe, travel the country, whatever you want to do. Start off small, and then you can work on to bigger things. So go out there, guys. Conquer yourself, conquer the country, conquer the world. You can do it. So if you like what you see, guys, please subscribe, please leave a like. I love you all. Thumbs up to frugality, and I'll see you again next week. Cheers, guys. Bye bye.